One of you lovelies asked me a question that got me questioning the country band The Highwayman. The question was about Willie Nelson and Kris Kristofferson and if they were Eyes Wide Shut handlers. And then I thought, wait, weren't they, Willie and Kris, weren't they in a group together? Yes, The Highwaymen. So then I was like, well, that's Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings, and are they a part of it too? So the Highwaymen, in case you didn't know, is an American country music supergroup. You had the four guys for outlaw country: Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Kris Kristofferson. Between 85 and 95, they recorded 3 major label albums as the Highwaymen. Who knew? I only knew their song The Highwaymen. I didn't know any of their other works together. However, so then it made me think, if we're asking about Willie Nelson, is he a handler? Kris Kristofferson, perhaps he was too. And then I guess there's a rumor that the Grand Ole Opry is just saturated with Eyes Wide Shut. I said, well, let's start here with the Highwaymen because I'm curious. So let's just see, because I'm wondering too, like, when did Eyes Wide Shut infiltrate country music? I would guess it was the 80s, but what do I know? I don't know. But let's see. Let's start with the Highwaymen, the group. Let's go simple, then we'll go into detail. The musical group known as the Highwaymen, were these all Eyes Wide Shut members? We have to assume so, because you don't get anywhere in this world unless you're a part of that group, right? We're starting to learn here. We're starting to catch on. I might be a little slow, but I'm catching on. I give people the benefit of the doubt. What does it get me? Another dirty bird. All right, I'll allege it for entertainment purposes only. It's not fact. Psychic downloads, snarky opinions. And if you're a big fan of these people, why? Anyway, not the video channel for you. Highwaymen. Part of Eyes Wide Shut. This group of country superstars. Eek. These cards are so hard to pick up. Wow. Oh my. Yes. My opinion. Yes, they are a part of Eyes Wide Shut. Damn. You wouldn't have known it. That's interesting. You wouldn't have known it. I guess because of the marketing arm of it. They're the Outlaws. Oh man, Control. That was the whole thing. They were the Outlaws. Yeah, they're singing these songs about, whatever. But they're all a part of it. All a part of it. In-house, Eyes Wide Shut music. Seems like some in the group were not exactly, let's say, excited about having to join that community. Like they've been captured in some way. But yeah, the Highwaymen. So at least these 4 dudes are in some shape, fashion, part of Eyes Wide Shut. We'll have to get into it to see how far they are. You know what? Let's finish this out. Let's go to Hopes. I don't know if all 4, but some in the group. Legal issues that they were going to be facing that would have been very detrimental, beyond tax evasion, I guess, for Willie Nelson. These would have been serious issues they were going to be facing. External influence. Page of Wands. This is almost like someone came down and said, you got some problems? Here's how we're going to solve it. You're going to become right in here to the fears. Man, these people are really they're so addicted to their fame, their fortune, their whatever. They're willing to do the deal with the devil. I can't all be over. Don't send me to jail. I'll do whatever you want. Internal influence. I need the money. I like living the good life. Demons just want the good life. Apparently, their challenge. How do you present yourself when you're a poser? Posers. Wow. We're getting to a point. There's going to be nothing we can listen to. I don't know. We have to check out 30s and 40s musicians. I don't know. Who knows? We'll find it over there, but This is like, oh God. Can't listen to anything, or I guess if we do, we have to sage ourselves afterwards. I don't know. All right. So let's start with our lovelies question first. Willie Nelson. How deep was he into the Eyes Wide Shut? Was he a handler? Or was he doing something else we're discovering about? Willie Nelson, what can we know about your participation in the group, allegedly? I would tend to believe that. I would tend to believe that he was a handler. Allegedly. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. A handler of who? I don't know, but a handler, yes. It's like, I need to get you on the right side of the fence here when it comes to what you're out there doing and saying and doing. Yeah, man. There's a lot of wands energy. Okay. Handler. Handler. All right. So now let's go on. Kris Kristofferson. Let's see what he's doing in Eyes Wide Shut. I think he recently passed. And I always call him Piss Kristofferson because I just think that's a funny name, but I don't know. I never really cared for him, but let's see, Kris Kristofferson, what was your role in the Eyes Wide Shut? God, I love fart cars. Oh. He's got a different role than Willie's got. Slightly. There's a handler vibe here. Or an enforcer handler? Like, this is a more of a... Like, Kris Kristofferson brings the pain. I'm just saying. Okay. I don't know what this is called in that group. At some point we'll have to figure out what that is. But this is like a handler, right? We still have that going on here. There's still this handler, and it's for a select group. Maybe this is country artist. Maybe this is Grand Ole Opry. Maybe this is, I don't know where, who. But he has a specific group. This is not just every member. Where maybe Willie Nelson. I got the feeling Willie Nelson was in charge of ladies. This is like he's in charge of a specific family. I don't know how that family forms. If you have an idea, tell me. He's an enforcer, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. This is like harsh punishment. Like you're taking your punishment and it's going to be harsh, whether you like it or not. We got to get you back into. So I don't know if he's a, muscle, which could be. I don't know if he's delivering black eyes. Could be. And nobody would have suspected that. He's very much like, there's this other element to him that I'm getting of, he gets reports of people and what they're doing. And like they would have no idea. Like he's got his own minions out there watching and seeing to make sure like people wouldn't have known. Like, I don't know. Ask Joe so-and-so over here. He's never heard of Kris Kristofferson in his entire life. And then one day he's brought in. And, what? You're going to have to answer for you've done something wrong against the group. Okay, let's get into Johnny Cash. Good old Johnny Cash. What are you doing, Eyes Wide Shut? He had his Folsom Prison tour. And, anyhow. He's got another group he's in charge of. Oh, what? What was Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash? Now, she was a part of a country music family, I believe, but I don't know why. I don't think Kris Kristofferson's in charge of that family. But what I'm getting here, he and June Carter are like a couple at the top of managing some other group. I don't think it's the Cash family, but it's some other group. It's almost like the country artists are put into groups. I don't know what that's about. But him and June Carter, allegedly in my opinion, are like power couple of Eyes Wide Shut in the country music genre. Oh. Okay. This is what they're doing in the group. Almost like they're cultivating new talent. That's the arm they get. They cultivate new talent. They're giving them, how do you present yourself on stage? How do you come up with your character? How do you come up with who you're connecting with, your songs? How do you pick your songs? This is too, so they're recruitment and development, R&D of Eyes Wide Shut. That's what they're doing. They're like, you remember the famous video, and I don't know who it was, but it was some rapper guy signing some new rapper guy, and he has a red baseball cap on, and he's just like, you want to sign this contract? And the kid's like, yeah! And he's like, oh gosh, because he knows what happens. Basically, you're going to be hanging out with Diddy. Anyhow, similar idea here. They are a part of recruitment, and they are a part of developing these artists into this other little group that they're watching. This is getting dirtier and dirtier. Dirtier and dirtier. All right, now let's go on to Waylon Jennings. Now, Waylon Jennings, I believe he used to be, had trouble with the law. Let me click on Waylon Jennings here over on the Wikipedia. We know it's a bastion of trust. Beginnings in music. Where's his early life? Whatever. Beginnings. His mother taught him how to play. Family gatherings. I thought there was something here where he was in jail. Personal life. Maybe it's here. Married 4 times, had 6 kids. I'm not seeing the jail thing. He started to consume amphetamines when he lived with Johnny Cash. What? This might go deeper than I am even think. I don't see anything about jail. I could have sworn. Prison? No. What in the world? Maybe I'm confusing Waylon Jennings with someone else. Maybe I am. Gosh, I don't know who it is. Tell me in the comment. Tell me who I must be missing it. Anyway, Waylon Jennings. What's your role in Eyes Wide Shut, sir? He's a mover of things. He's a mover of things. I'm not quite sure yet what. He's a mover of something. He's like a, back in the day, like bootleggers kind of. It's kind of giving me bootlegger energy. I'm not getting any niños or niñas coming with this, but he's moving shit around on the sly. Being able to move, being able who I am, don't say shit, who I'm connected to. This is very much like, in my opinion, this is like a gangster. He is like a gangster, a head gangster, like moving shit on behind the scenes. My gosh. He's moving stuff. I'm not sure. This is I think we're going to need a whole deep dive, but we're going to do it when the gardeners aren't here because I cannot think all the way here with that. Now I'm curious, lastly, what's this family? We saw the family groups, and I'm I don't think these are the Eyes Wide Shut collective family. What are these different types of groups that they're handling? It's like artists in their genre, who's ever in their, I guess we'll say their country genre. It's almost like, I don't know, the way I'm going to say is like record labels. I don't know if there were certain record labels that were more country or not, but within the record labels, there's a, I don't know, a group of artists there in each quadrant or each section, you know, like, oh, you know, there's outlaw country, right? And then you have like, oh, here's the women, you know, the country queens, and here's our country leading men, and here's our whatever, like the groupings that the people fall into. Yeah. Okay. So it's their groupings. It's so they can each fit into one of those tight little groups. Because if you remember country from, we'll say, our time, that you had all the country queens, right? And you had Dolly, but you had Tammy Wynette, and you know, you had Patsy Cline, and right? You had the country queens, and you had like the kings, right? So it's depending on what category these people fell into, that's the group these overseers were watching. So interesting, isn't it? All right, I want to hear your questions, because I think we could go down a country music conspiracy rabbit hole here on what's going on with this, because I know when I looked into the Judds, that's in the Moth Manor. That's not making it out onto the tube of the U. But I'm just saying, when you go down that hole, that's a story and a half. But tell me what you got. What have you heard? I want to know, because now this is intriguing to me. So that's what we got with our country music. Eyes wide shut. Until next time, adios.